Hello, welcome to Scratch. We're going to look at how to make a very simple Scratch project. First of all, we're going to choose the background or the stage. So click on Stage, go to Backgrounds, go to Edit. Then we can click on Import and we can choose from any number of backgrounds. I'm going to go underwater, click on OK. Now I can change and edit my background color. I'm going to choose to do that a little bit here. If you can see, there we go, it's changed my looks a little bit. Oh, made a mistake. I can undo if I need to. Undo, undo, try again, there we go. I like that, click OK, there's my background. I'm also going to change the name of that to Under Sea. Great. I can also copy that if I wanted to. I'm not going to do that this time, however. I don't need any scripts on stage just at this point in time. That's well done. Now, I've got the Scratch Cat here. I don't want the Scratch Cat. I'm going to right click and delete. And I'm going to bring in a new sprite. So I'm going to go to Animals and I want to choose these octopus sprite. We'll call it Octo the octopus. So far he's got one costume. I want that other octopus costume as well, and you'll see why in a minute. I'm going to call that Octo 1, Octo 2. Fantastic. Now, this script is going to use a bit of animation, and it's also going to use a bit of control from the user. So let's go to Scripts. First of all, I want Octo to actually start off the screen. Now, if you look at this Go To or Glide block over here, if I double click, you can see as soon as I double clicked on Octo, it changed to where he actually is located. Have another look. I'll double click, you can see it changes his location. So I'm going to put him just off screen. I'm going to double click on him because I need that location. I need him to start there. So let's start my script. It always starts when the flag is clicked. I actually want Octo to disappear. I want him to hide. I want him to go to that spot there. I want him to wait. And then I want him to show. Let's have a look at that so far. There he is. So if he started there, click on that, he'll go away, go to where I want him to start. Great. I actually want him to glide into the middle of the screen, center stage. So I take him, I go to motion, I double click, and it will glide to there. If I pull out that block, let's watch. Now that's a little bit quick. I'm going to change it to 3 seconds. Let's have a look. Okay, now it doesn't actually look like he's walking. So I'm going to show you a cool trick to make another script run at the same time. Okay, now it doesn't actually look like he's walking. So I'm going to show you a cool trick to make another script run at the same time. And that is by using something called broadcast. So I'm going to put a broadcast out there. I'm going to make a new broadcast and I'm going to call it walk because that's exactly what he's going to be doing. So we get to that stage there. We actually want that before he starts walking, don't we? We don't want him after he starts walking. We want him to broadcast the walk and then glide. And so we're telling Octo that when he receives that, he's going to switch quite a few times. So he's going to repeat around about 8 times. Okay, to make Octo walk, we need to change his appearance. So we're going to repeat it 8 times. We're going to switch his costume. We're also going to just wait a second. Actually, 0.2 of a second. Octo 1. Duplicate. And then Octo 2. So duplication is a really quick way of doing something. So let's make sure we choose walk. So when I broadcast walk, he's going to change his costume as he walks. Or it's not actually walking, is he? He's swimming across the screen. But it looks like he's walking along the deck of the ocean. Wow, we've done a pretty good job already so far. Let's make him talk because he needs to introduce himself. So we're going to do a new broadcast. We're going to call that talk. So he's going to speak. And when he's talking, he's actually going to be having his mouth moving. To do that, we've got to change his costume. So we're going to copy Octo 2. We're going to edit it. We're going to get the eraser, make it a little bit smaller. And we're going to cut out like so. So if it goes back and forth, you can see it sort of looks like he's talking. A very rudimentary example of it, but example nonetheless of what we want to do. So to broadcast talk, when I receive talk, what do I want him to do? I want him to repeat. And I want him to repeat, in this case, about 18 times. And we're going to have a weight in there, just like our walking, going to have to have a little weight in there. I like using 0.2 of a second. We're going to change his looks. We're going to switch back and forth from costumes again. So very similar to this one. In fact, if we wanted to, we could grab that out like that, duplicate it, pop it in there, and just change this to 2 and 3. That's a really smart use of Scratch duplication. Let's have a look. There we go. He's talking. Now if we wanted to be really clever, we could do this. We could say, alright, we want you to point in a certain direction after each time that you talk. And then we grabbed all these out. We could duplicate that and then look in the other direction. Put that in there, change that to half. Let's see what happens. He walks out. He's talking. Oh, he's changing direction, but he's upside down. Why is that? Because we need to choose this option up here, which is only face left or right. So anytime he changes direction or the direction where he's pointing, where he's looking, you need to make sure that that's clicked, so that from now on you can see that in this script when he starts talking, he face that way, then he'll face that way. He's a little bit quick. Maybe we can change that to, wait a second, put that in there, let's see how it goes. It's not too bad, but you notice they came in backwards. So we need to make sure that when we start, he's pointing in the right, literally the right direction. Let's have a look now. So you can see how important it is to set up that first script with the blocks, make sure everything's pointing the right way, everything looks the right way, and all that sort of thing. So that's great. So he is talking, but what's he actually saying? He's not saying anything yet. So we need to say, well, when you do actually broadcast talk, we want him to say something. And we can do another script here. We can actually do it two ways. We can put it under here, or we could do it when I receive talk as well. So instead of making another little script, I'm just going to do it under here. So say hello. My name is Octo. I am hungry. Oh, it's disappeared. I can't see it. It's getting a bit long. Okay, and it probably is a bit too long for 2 seconds, so change it to 3. Let's get him to say something else here. Please help me find some food. Make that go for 3 seconds too. So, let's see. Here we go. You can see the highlighted scripts when they're working. Hello, my name is Octo. I'm hungry. Please help me find some food. He's looking around everywhere for food. He's going a bit too long there, isn't he? Still going. I'm going to change that to about 5. Try one more time. Let's see how we're looking. Here he comes. He's swimming out. He's walking along the floor. I'm hungry. Please help me find some food. I'm looking everywhere. Just change that. And this is the thing about Scratch. It's trial and error. I can just click on a script to make that script work, so I can see it working instead of going through the whole presentation again. Or I can click on this one. We'll do the whole thing as well. Or I can click on the flag. So one more time, let's have a look, see how we're going. This script's running because it's highlighted. This script's running now. This one's running. He's talking. Is it going to match up? Is it going to be the right amount of time? Change that to 4, and I think that'll be spot on. Now it's time to bring a second sprite into the equation. And that, of course, is the bunch of bananas. Let's go and find the bananas. There they are. Change that to bananas. And there's the costume there. It doesn't really need to change at this stage. So, with our bananas, they need to do some things as well. Pretty similar to what Octo had to do. Basically, we need to think that we're starting at the end of the previous session. So the bananas could end up anywhere. So we need to tell the bananas where we want them to go. We want them to start up here. Now they're a little bit big, so let's go and edit them. Just shrink them down a little bit, a couple of times, make them a bit smaller. So if we go here and double click, that's where we want bananas to go. So, when clicked, of course we need to hide the bananas first. We need them to go straight to there, and we need to make sure they're pointing in the right direction. So they need to be pointing, basically they need to be upright, so pointing in the right direction will be fantastic. So that's our first little script. So let's see if that works. Well, of course you can't see because we can't see it. So it might be handy to keep a little show block up here. Let's see if it works. Here we go, stop. Yep, they're in the right spot. Fantastic. Okay, now what we want the bananas to do is just to roam around the screen, and we want the octopus to try and catch them. So we can set up a broadcast to do that. Or another way is just to make it wait. So we might do that, might be a bit easier. And this enables us to use our trial and error skills as well. So I want it to glide from there to there. Double click, that's that location. Fantastic, snap it in. Then I want it to go to there, double click, it changes the location. Down to there, double click. Hopefully by this time the banana has been caught. Now if I do that, click on that, you can see that it goes pretty quickly. So we just need to change this to about 3 seconds for each one. Okay, give it a bit of a sporting chance. Fantastic. So, there's our bananas. Now, we need to do another broadcast and receive. So when I receive a new broadcast called bananas, when I see bananas, I want the bananas to show. And I want it to do a very special thing. First we need to just go back to the octo, and at the end of here, that's where we want to broadcast the bananas broadcast. So after octo's gone through all of his stuff, then we'll broadcast bananas, and then we're saying when you receive that signal of bananas, do this. So after octo's finished, then the bananas will appear because that's the show. Okay, now we could get rid of that when I receive bananas. So let's see if it's working so far. So bananas have hidden, they should be up in the corner. Octo's come in, he's talking, he's looking around for some bananas, and then the bananas should appear and start moving. So that's working perfectly. Now obviously what we want Octo to do is him to move around to get the bananas. Now in order to get Octo to move around to get the bananas, we need to use arrow keys. So far the bananas are doing what they should. That's fantastic. Now what actually has to happen is that the Octo has to grab the bananas. And in order for us to make Octo do that, we need to control him. So if we get a key block and we say up arrow, every time we press the up arrow, we want you to point up and we want you to move 10 steps. So you can see, using my arrows, I can move him around. Duplicate that, change it to down arrow. Move in a down direction. There we go. Left and right as well. Do right first. Make sure you match them up. Right, right. Duplicate, left and left. So now he's moving. You can see that he actually faces the way he should be. It's looking very, very good. Okay. So we can move him around. Now comes the really tricky part. We want these two sprites to meet, to touch, and when they touch, something happens. So this is the tricky one. So we're going to continue on with this when I receive bananas, show, okay, and also when they receive bananas it starts to glide. Now we're going to grab the forever block, snap it in there. We're going to grab another block, which is the if block. Looks like this. Okay, and we're going to go to sensing. Now we're going to sense when it's touching Octo. So we're going to, this actually says when bananas touches Octo, so when those two sprites touch, we want something to happen. And we're going to do another broadcast, and that broadcast snaps into there, and we're going to call that stop. So obviously that stops everything that's going on. So what this means is bananas will get broadcasted in this script. There's bananas. So as soon as this script works its way down and hits broadcast bananas, bananas broadcast goes out, and then it gets received here. Bananas is shown, and then it will continue to do this until it touches the octopus or Octo. And when that happens, we're going to broadcast something called stop. Okay? And when the bananas receive stop, we actually want the bananas to hide. So you can't see them anymore. Let's see if that works, because this is the tricky one. It may not work. Hopefully it does. So there's Octo, he's talking, he's turning. He's got speech coming out. Okay, when he stopped talking, I can use the arrows. There's the bananas. Try and get him. Oh! It worked. The bananas disappeared as soon as I touched them. That's great. But maybe the user doesn't quite know what's going on. So we need just to clarify what's happening. So we're going to use another broadcast. Broadcast is coming in very handy. So when I receive broadcast, we're saying Octo, what are you going to do when you receive broadcast? When you receive that stop broadcast, we want you to say something. We want you to say, thanks for the yummy snack. Check the spelling. Say that for 2 seconds. And then we're going to do something pretty cool. We're going to get him to repeat. We're going to make it 50 times. And we're going to change his looks. Now, we could change color effect. There's other different things we could do to it as well. All these things do some great things. We're going to just change the color effect. We're going to change it by 2 every time. So I'll show you what happens when I do that. Thanks for the yummy snack, and then his color should change like that. Gee, not much really happened there, did it? So you might make that 100. See what happens. Right, great. So let's click on the flag, see what happens. He's coming out, he's the right colour, he's facing the correct way, he's swimming, now he's talking, he's looking around for some food. Here comes some bananas, I need to go and get the bananas. What happens if we touch? Thanks for the yummy snack. Oh, changes colours. Okay, and at the end, if you want it to be really cool, you could do another cool little script. Repeat 10 times and do a little effect. So lots of different effects. Got fisheye, whirl, pixelate, mosaic, brightness and ghost. I'm going to go whirl. So what happens? Double click. Thanks for the yummy snack. Change colors, and then he's going to do a whirl. So if we change that to 100, what's happened here? The sprite has now changed, hasn't he? So let's see if it changes back. There we go, it's changed back. Goes through, he talks, he turns, he's looking. Here come the bananas. I've got to get those bananas. Thanks for the yummy snack. Change colours and do a whirl. Whoa, cool. Right, so my script is pretty good. What's one other thing I could do? I could introduce some sound. So we do have lots of sound. So when Octo receives stop, we can play a sound. What sound have we got? Or you can record some sound. Or you can go and import some sound. So we've got some effects. Bubbles might be a good one. Go back to the script, snap it into place, play bubbles, and you'll be able to hear that sound come through. Start from the beginning. Looks like everything's working really well. My name's Octo, I'm hungry. Go get those bananas, they're gone, I ate them, thanks for the sound, I could hear the bubbles coming through. Fantastic, my script is complete. One other thing I could do is I could hide him right at the end of that if I wanted to. Fantastic, so your job is to hopefully as you've gone, you've done all those scripts, you can add your own little touches, you can change the sprites and so on to make it your very, very own. So good luck.